be part of history.
Part of history?
Yeah, this is history being hit. This is actually.
Yeah, they're
probably the big when people find out you were at Cal during
the whole street blocked off for us. We're gonna have
they'll be like, dude, were you there for the tree sit? And you'll be able to tell your grandkids, yeah, actually, we walked by, we were part of the vigil.
Wow.
So, yeah, you can tell that to your grandkids.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah. What do you think, huh? You got any other plans for making the world better?
Yeah, actually, I work for an environmental consultant.
Right on. So you can relate a little bit, have a little bit of a point. I mean, there's a lot of different approaches. People can have a critique. There's certainly room for collective criticism about particular ways of doing an action. So we're open for that, and I bet you probably have other ideas about how we can do environmental.
Okay, no worries.
Well, actually, I don't know all that much about what the university is doing here. So they're just cutting down the trees.
There's a ruling tomorrow. They want to build a gymnasium, a high-tech gym here, and so they want to remove this grove of trees and build a gym here. And there's been a lawsuit from the city of Berkeley, the neighbors, and the Oak Federation that have said to try to protect this grove. And so the ruling has been like postponed for like a year. There's been a tree sit going for a year and a half, and it's happening tomorrow. So you really are here at the crutch of history. The crux.
So, are they old growth trees?
They're old trees. They're mature oak. This is the Quercus agrifolia, is the native oak that grows in this area, and so this is like a pretty solid grove of live oak that we don't have very much in the flatlands anymore. Most of them have been taken down.
And some of them are old growth. One of them is 200 years old. One of them's like 125 years old. This redwood is native redwood, coastal redwood. It's over 100 years old. Hold on, Matt. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. Hold on, Matt. This bay laurel right here is over 100 years old, native, beautiful old growth tree.
Wait, which one?
The bay laurel right there. See that big fat laurel? It's like that big around. That's not a tree that was born yesterday. That's native to here. It's old growth. It's older than.
It's old growth. So
it depends how you define old growth. That tree's over 100 years old.
So it was here before humans occupied the area? Before, excuse me, before, I should say before.
Not that old.
No, I should say, is it older before, like, European settlement?
That's how you define old growth. Anything that was here before Europeans. That's 400 or 500, it has to be 400 or 500 years old to be old growth. I've heard definitions different. So I've heard 150, 200 older than the state of California is one way to describe it.
An iPhone?
There's several trees that could be called old growth.
No.
But I do actually, we need
were these naturally occurring when the university was?
No, these were actually planted when the university decided that they would take where the Strawberry Creek comes down into the campus where it crosses an earthquake fault. The university decided that they would blow up the waterfall that was there, they would blow up the natural habitat, and they would build the stadium. And so these were the trees that they planted to hold up the slope after they had blown up Strawberry Creek and built the stadium.
So the university planted the trees?
Some of them they did not plant. Some of them were here before that. Some
settlers planted. I think the settlers planted the deodars. I've been in this grove a year and a half. I feel what's going on here.
And the
settlers punched in a road. When they did that, they used to plant deodars and inland redwoods, Sequoia giganticus, along roads too. If you go up there, you can see a line of deodar and a line of deodar with one gigantica that's like 120 years old. So the settlers came in the 1860s, killed the native people, and they started also planting trees. You have oaks that predate them guys, and you got some trees that the settlers planted, the pepper trees. And then they came and planted. Then they planted. I've been here a year and a half, too, and I've listened to these trees. Then they planted about some of these oaks in the middle because they destroyed one of the most beautiful places in the East Bay. And part of doing that, they said, well, you know what? We'll plant some trees out there in that grove, and we'll even do it for the veterans because we're so cool. And so what we call it today is mitigation.
These trees, in fact, were planted for the World War I veterans.
So were any of the trees here not planted by the university? You said some of them were under 150?
Right. Yes, there are definitely some trees here were not planted by the university. And regardless, the university planted them, again, as a memorial for the veterans and as part of mitigation for having destroyed the natural habitat here. So, and they've become a very important part. This is a corridor. I don't know if you've noticed, but you're an you work as an environmental consultant. So of course you know that habitat loss has been a big crucial issue. And so this is a connecting line between several of our wild areas that are still left here. It's an important wildlife corridor.
Yeah, foxes.
other kind of animals you don't see all the
deer,
time.
berries, thrush. There's actually a pretty amazing habitat for different animals that have started to try to survive in an urban area that we haven't left a lot of habitat for them to survive in, and they've been using this area well. So
You're saying this strip of trees is actually broad enough to attract wildlife?
yes.
It has. I've been out here.
I mean, there are wildlife in the hills, of course, and they might migrate
and they come down here, yeah.
Because, this is, they need,
here.
they need places to be able to travel through
Large life
where they don't have to
large
cross
dead
the
trees,
road. So,
Isn't there
multiple vertical layers of vegetation?
There's not one the number.
Oh, well, it won't give us a number.
well, if they have
But it's defined in things
that are wild, that can let wildlife move from one natural wild area to another, it's very helpful if you don't fragment habitat so the wildlife can connect to different wildlife.
Is there a wild area that this connects
Yeah.
to?
The ecological, historical, the ecological study area
Right,
that's part of
you said this serves as a corridor.
LBNL fence cuts off Claremont Canyon from Tilden Park, so the animals have to come around here.
But don't they have to cross? But isn't there a road right there?
They do have to cross roads, but the more they can stay into a natural habitat, the better off they're going to be. You probably know that concept of fragmentation, right? That is, when you fragment.
Isn't this already fragmented?
Well, it is.
Yeah, but do we want to continue to fragment the earth, or do we want to join it back together, my brother? That's what we're talking about. We're going to just fragment it until there's nothing left, bro?
Well, isn't this already highly urbanized? I mean, you said that the university
So let's
planted
give up. That'll help a lot.
He's got it. Terry's
Pack
got
it in.
Hey, that's cool. Oh, I knew that guy, New York. The bald-headed guitar player guy.
Right.
Dude, yeah, I used to see his flyers up in New York. That's cool. Hey, we just have one quick question for Terry about phone number.
So what's the alternative to this?
You can build this gym elsewhere on campus, other places.
Where should it go,
Deemed
though?
earthquake unsafe and would not
And also Tristan wants
and we could have both our trees and our gym.
Well, where should it go, though?
There's